All right. All right. Where are we? Okie dokie. Check, check. Oh, wait. We don't even have music going. Today is a bit of a... not a great day. Where the hell is my playlist? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that's not too loud. If music's too loud, let somebody know. I feel like everything fucking logged me out. Like, everything. Twitch logged me out. Restream logged me out. It's just like, this is the worst. Okay. I guess. Yeah. There we go. Alright, weird. Super weird. Super weird. Okay. So if you're watching on Instagram, sorry. Or sorry, I mean, I don't know. Hi. Is my sound on? I don't know. Hopefully, IG can hear me. We're working on some portrait stuff. Okay. Anyway, so we're doing some skate decks. Twitch, this is weird because everything's on different timing. But whatever. Things happen. Life carries on. Anyway, I'm just working on some paintings that are due for a gallery show. April 11th, which is in 9 days. That's crazy. Anyway. I need a little bit more darkness. What's up, Art Glitch? Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it's a big web creative community. What's up? Yeah, I am. I'm taking part of, or not like I am grateful to have been curated in. I'll put it that way. To like this huge, I think like 300 artist group show at 111 Mina Gallery in San Francisco. Place very near and dear to my heart. But yeah, that's the. Thank you. Okay, cool. That James Machine. Thanks. Glad you can hear. I'm juggling too many windows. Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube that I have no insight into. Thanks for the hydrate. Got good old-fashioned water. Thank you. I also have a kombucha as per usual. We've got Pure Love, Synergy Winter Edition Pure Love. That's a good one. Blood Orange, Hibiscus, and Rose. I'm a fan. Oh, you just got affiliate? Congrats. Congrats, Art Glitch. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot to learn, but just take your time. Like, there's tons of tutorials out there. And it's not too bad. Just take your time, and my only advice is to wait for make sure you just take time to figure it out before you stream, if that makes sense. Because I tend to only think about streaming right before I have to stream, and then everything goes crazy. Oh, thanks so much, Rose. Appreciate you swinging by. How are you doing? Cool. Yeah, I mean, given I'm doing good. I'm doing it's this is really crazy because there's two conversations going on, one on Twitch, um, and one on Instagram. Twitch, great. Art Glitch. Yeah, the commercials happen, which is not a great experience, but it helps pay the bills, so thank you for watching it. Rose, yeah, doing good. I mean, so for anyone that doesn't know, I'm in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign where I'm making my first tabletop card game. It's called Cult Crafter. The campaign ends tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. And I'm very grateful. I'm funded, and we're above the goal, so I think I'm going to be okay. But Trump just announced 54% tariffs. Oh, cool. What's up, JBM? Thanks. Yeah, different aspect ratio. I hear you. But yeah, so it's 54%. So my game literally costs 50% more to make now. So I think I'm gonna be okay, but I'm not actually sure. I likely can. I think I'm gonna be able. I think we'll be okay. The game will be made. Everyone, if anyone backed, don't worry, you'll get a copy of the game. It'll be. We'll work it out, but it's just that you have, whenever you're doing a crowdfunding game, you have budgets for extra stuff, and I usually like to personally I like to budget a little bit extra so I can do some nice surprises. Oh, I said this was a stretch goal, but I'm gonna unlock these pin designs when I've done pins in the past, or oh, I'm gonna I'll do this upgrade for the packaging that I said we weren't gonna be able to do. And that's where I put a lot of the extra money to. But I think now the quote unquote extra money, or the above and beyond backing, is gonna end up literally just going to making the game and shipping it over here. And if I did get quotes from domestic producers, so believe me, I'm all for production when it makes sense domestically. But Yeah, the if I would have gone domestically like that, like the goal was 3,700, and if I went domestic, like the goal would probably have been like 15,000. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I probably would have had to do 15,000 to like between shipping logistics and like cross country freight. I mean, I have to do cross ocean freight anyway, but like freight is not cheap. And then yeah, it's just a pretty crazy thing to get dropped on you suddenly when I'm like, yes, this is awesome, we're gonna make a game, and then it's like, yes, you are likely like you'll make a game, but it's gonna be not what I thought it was gonna be. So, sorry, I realized I have to, like, turn my head to get to the mic. I don't know, can you hear me okay like this? Or is this a lot better? Oh, when's the gallery show? The gallery show is in San Francisco on April 11th at 111 Mina in downtown San Francisco, off of 2nd Street and Mina. It's like a alleyway over there. I don't think I'll be there. Okay. Little quiet, but still audible. That's good to know. Just talk a little bit louder when I'm painting. Just trying to like push a little bit more dimension at this point now. But cool. Sounds fine. Excellent. Yeah, so it's gonna be at 111 Mina. There's like, it should be a party. Like, that's like, there's tons of artists. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'm going yet. There's just, I'm a relatively new cat dad, so it's taking care of the babies, aka my two cats, Mike and 11, and then also yeah, my partner's also in the show, so she is like, it's kind of messed up if only one of us goes, but I don't know if we both can go, so I don't know. Also, I know the angle's weird. I'm sorry. Like, hopefully that looks a little bit cleaner or a little bit better. But painting on skateboards is somewhat challenging, just like logistically, because I don't have a thing that, like, if I do this more, which I might. Cool. Thanks, Rose. Take care. Good night. Like, there's like these things that like are made to go through the holes, and like if I wanted to paint more of these, that might be a good upgrade to look into. All right. Let's see. So, and if anyone has any questions, let me know too. Otherwise I'm just like painting and talking random nonsense. Right now, like the main colors I'm using, I'm mixing brands. I have this So Flat matte acrylic red violet. I don't know if you can see that. Yep. and then a Sennelier Acrylic CAD red light, which is what I've been. Those are kind of the main two colors. I also have black, like a carbon black, and a titanium white that I've been using. But so like, what medium? Mainly water. To be honest, I'm trying not to actually dilute them too much. I'm just trying to like paint, mostly off the cuff. I do have. No. I thought I had acrylic medium right next to me, but it's actually clear gesso. So the inspo, I actually have 3 decks. This one I'm feeling pretty close to getting done. I'm just trying to like make it scarier. This is the very, very brutally work in progress sketch stage of the second one. Originally it was gonna be a triptych of like these 3 witches with their hands all over. I'm still titling the piece Coven, like Coven 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 decks. The most finished one, which is actually the creepiest, I think, is unfortunately out in the hallway. But yeah. So I'm mainly just using kind of water to thin. I'm trying to not dilute the paints too much. But I'm planning to clear coat it anyway, so I'm not super worried about mixing the paint brands. Because I know some people talk about like, oh, like, you know, you don't want parts of the, like, you can kind of see it up here a little bit where like there's like a non-glossy spot and then a glossier paint spot in the black. I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but I can see it. Like right here too is a little bit, but that's kind of like what like I'm not worried about it because I'm just gonna clear coat the whole thing at the end, and then cool, yeah, you can just to try to get it a nice consistent finish, but I'm not worried about that right now. And I usually don't mix paints, but like paint brands I try to keep in the same thing to keep everything consistent. But like with this one I'm kind of like I'm not gonna strip too much, because I think that like that the gloss at the end is just gonna lock it all together and it'll look fine. So, but yeah, that's way too wet. All right, so, yeah, it's all just kind of like subtle touch-ups and fixes and I don't know, details. I also have to figure out what I'm gonna do with the eyes. I feel like they're almost like, I think given because of like this like like neon pink feels a little bit like a little bit flat and a little bit cartoonish, so I'm trying to figure out if I want to shrink the irises and make it creepy like the other one. Oh, what's up, Greg? How's it going? Like of 8-ball, cool. Yeah, too contemporary. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, just sticking with the witch stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to like creep it up a little bit. I think like the runny mascara helps a little bit. Like I think I might go in and make her teeth a little bit more jagged than they are. Ooh, cat eyes. Ooh. I like that. I like that. just it's a really subtle thing, I think, of just making the teeth a little bit more sharp. I don't know if you can like, again, like, I don't know, screens are weird. Like, I'm looking at it like in Instagram, and I'm looking at it in Twitch, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, it's good. I think it might actually, there's some parts that might actually look a little bit cleaner on the camera. Flattens it out a little bit. I feel like this area needs to be cleaned up, which is good. Well, not good that it needs to be cleaned up, but it's good that I can see it better. What up, Wes? Oh, thanks, man. Just trying to figure out where to push certain parts and what needs editing. Like, there's certain things that could just be like done better, and then there's certain things that I'm like, oh, that needs actual fixing. Like, I gotta fix this corner of the nose. Likely the shadows. Like, I'm trying to think back to the reference, and I know what happened there. Like, the shadow from this nostril is being cast on like that top part of her nose, but that's not super clear. Okay. I want to add a little bit more dimension to her bottom, like her top lip. Screen suck. Well, I don't think I'm that much of a perfectionist, Wes. I mean, it's like, it's not, like, to be honest, it looks a lot better on the screen than it does in person. But thank you. I'm glad you like it. Still, it's you know, I don't think I'm trying, like, I know it won't be perfect, but it's also not where I'm hoping it is yet, if that makes sense. No, that's way too light. Yeah, that's way too dark. Color mixing, and that's the tricky part. The reference, I have a stock photo. At this point, I'm not really looking at it, but here, I can show it to you. Give me a sec. I try to find royalty-free stock photos, so I'm not being a jerk about it. This is a photo on Pexels. So I'll just... Ooh. If you ain't flowing, it's because you're aiming for excellence. Yeah. I'd like to think I'm aiming for excellence. I haven't done a painting in a gallery show for a really long time, to be honest. So I am trying to be like, trying to show up, you know. Considering the fact that I'm doing a gallery piece, like, that's due in like a few days. So like now and I'm like, this is why I'm doing it on stream, is because I was like, I would rather just paint something else that I could be doing, but I need to do this painting. So. Knock off that rust. Trying to. Okay, so also, like, I'm squeezing out some white paint. You can't see it because it's on my little baby tiny gray palette sheet that's below the camera. And this is I'm at my like work desk. This is not like a great place to be. It's more cramped than I don't want to say it's not a great place to be. I enjoy it. It's just it just feels very tight here. here. And one thing about like mixing white into colors is that it tints everything and kind of like desaturates it. So you kind of want to be a little careful with how you're using it. But okay. But I need a little bit because I need to color match because that's what I used earlier is some white paint on here. Mixing paint. That's too bright, but I'm gonna glaze it over. Yeah, white's definitely a necessity, but yes, it's not. Yo, what up, Kissy? And Raid, thank you for coming on in. I don't mind you at all. Appreciate you. Whoa, thank you, Kissy. Thanks for the sub. Creepy announcement noise. Oh wait, what? No, I needed more purple. This is the hey Harvey, thanks. This is the worst part about painting. I don't want to say worst, like I don't like doing it, but oh sorry, I was color matching just this white part. Sorry, the commercial. It smells like cotton balls. I mean, that's fine, but Kissy, we've never met in real life, so I don't know. Big Umbrella Studios. Yes, that was the gallery I helped run back in the day. Unfortunately, no more. But that wasn't me. You know, I don't know. Maybe I do smell like cotton balls. I don't actually. Cotton balls is a very benign smell, I feel like. I need just straight up purple. Yeah, thanks, Shivane. Did you come? Were you an artist in the studio? I can't, like, sorry, I'm also juggling Instagram and Twitch conversations, which is wild to me, and also trying to figure out okay, what I was gonna say is that the hardest part about painting on stream is well, at least like me, I have conversations and then I'm like, oh wait, what was I touching up? And then I have to keep my paint wet and moist. And the hardest part is Josh. I just like and then I just like go quiet because I'm like I need to focus, and then I'm not chatting. But that is how it goes. All right. Happy with that bottom nostril now. Sweet. You can't even like. I think it's funny. Like you can't even actually probably see it. Can you see it? Maybe not. Maybe not. That's okay. I don't know. Can you see? This is just hanging outside of frame. That's crazy. It's like a Krampus tongue. What trucks am I putting on this board? You know, I was thinking some. I don't know. Which bearings? Which wheels? Oh, what up, dude? Yeah. Lucy Rivera you're one of Lucy's students. Yeah, I totally remember you coming to help out. That is awesome. How are you doing? That's amazing. What bearings am I doing, Josh? I don't know. Like, this is how long it's been since I've bought like a skate deck. I can't even come up with like a snappy comeback. And like, I'm sorry. It's for a gallery show in San Francisco, April 11th. I'll keep saying that. Sorry, everyone. I'll be like, go to 111 Mina on April 11th in the evening. See, like, I'm just one, like, I'll have 3 decks in the show, but there's like, I think like 400 skateboard decks. But yeah. Let's see, where did I want to touch up next? Oh yeah, change the brush. Oh yeah, thanks. It's last chance. Okay. I'm gonna be crowdfunding game Colt Crafter is on live on BackerKit. Tomorrow is the last day, so if anyone watching is interested in backing for a card game that I'm having made, I designed it, illustrated it, and that is happening. The campaign ends tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific. So, last chance for BackerKit romance, y'all. Cool, thanks, man. And I could use, if anyone wants to get a copy, please do so. Help me out, because Trump just raised tariffs to 54%. I was counting on 20%. So, or I think I budgeted for 30, to be honest, and now it's 50. So, like, the game will still be made. Don't worry. Like, I know it's potentially like disheartening to be like, hey, back this game, and it's gonna be much harder for me to make it. But I budgeted it in some tariffs, and usually I over budget because I want to make sure I can make whatever it is I am trying to make for people. But yeah. So I'm very grateful that we're well above what I needed to do. But it's one of those things that, like, I usually like to throw in extra stuff and kind of surprise people, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do that this time, to be honest. Between the transnational shipping issue, like logistic stuff that I have to figure out, it's gonna be pretty tough. Budget, my eyeballs be in the back of my head. It is bedtime for y'all on the East Coast. I mean, it's kind of bedtime for me, but I'm an artist. I don't sleep as much as I should be. That's a terrible stereotype, but it is kind of true. That's not purple enough. That's way too... Cool. Thanks for the lurk. And thanks for the raid, Kissy. So I like, that was kind of a not great move. It pushed the lip out of perspective. I swear, like painting is like most of the time is just like fixing things that you mess up. There's a part of me that thinks I should just like cover it with blood. Be like, oh, big blood splatter, and then I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, like from the angle you're watching it probably looks fine, but angle I'm looking at, ugh. Also, if anyone has technical questions or anything, or just, I mean, any questions at all, feel free to ask. But if I ever don't explain what I'm doing, feel free to remind me and I'll try to clarify. Need this to red, more brown. Back and forth. No, I messed up. So this is the other thing when you're painting with acrylic. That's kind of just different than if you're painting, say, with... Well, it's not true. I guess if you're glazing oil paint, if you're a glazer versus a alla prima painter, which I tend to be with oils, it's a little bit different, but like acrylic, you have to kind of like because it dries so fast, like most of this is dry, and so for me to blend things, I have to sort of visually blend, being that like I'm not actually mixing paint. I'm layering a translucent layer of paint on top of what already exists to look like in your eye it's mixing, but it's not actually mixed. But okay, so see this little dot here right at the chin? This is one of those things where like sometimes things you see in your reference photo doesn't look good in real life. Like there in the reference photo, there is this sliver of light that's on the side of her throat, which separates her from the background, so that's kind of nice. But like that one, because that dot is too big, it just like draws your eye and it looks like she's like dripping like sweat or like saliva or something, which could be cool. Like I could like make her mouth look even more wet and then like have her like drooling, but that wasn't necessarily what I was intending. And I think right now it doesn't look quite like she's sweating, and it doesn't look quite like her neck, and that's a bad place to be, is when it's not clear what actually is going on. think that looks better. I think I need to darken the shadow right above it. Alright. Yeah, that looks way better. Way better. Okay. Still gotta fix her eyes. Not looking forward to that. Whoa. That was super dangerous. Holy crap. That was pretty wild, y'all. I could have just seen me going like with black and been like, damn it. All right. Yeah, I think the eyes are so not fun. I'm trying to think if it's easier to just paint. No, it won't be. Okay. I'm gonna have to paint over somewhat. Oh yeah. Just adding the tiniest drop of ultramarine blue to my titanium white. Tiny drop of black. Need a little bit more white and then well, I kind of like the idea of cat eyes. Thank you for that earlier. I will use it. I wasn't sure it was the right way to go, but I think it'll be the right way to go. That's fine. We'll keep going with it. We'll keep going with it. Now adding a little bit more blue, a little bit more black, a little bit of brown. We'll do like a shadow color for the top of the eye. And this is what gets cast from the upper lid of the eye. Alright, so now we're back in black. Hopefully this doesn't suck. Alright. There's some touch-ups to make, but I don't hate it. And I think she definitely looks creepier. Ooh, I'm into it. And if someone happens to be watching on YouTube, I'm so sorry. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. That might be a little bit too dark. That's way too dark, but I'll have to... I'll figure it out. I just ended up darkening the entire eyeballs. So, which will let us... Yeah, I'll let that dry a little bit, and then I'll go back in with that neon red, fluorescent red, and fix up those eyes. Alright. Overall, I'm pretty happy with where this is going. This is kind of where we're at. In the past, I have made the mistake of like painting where the camera can see it, but then it's at an off angle to me, and then when I look at it, it's all like like fucked up. So sorry. It's like it is kind of a weird angle to watch me paint from. So I apologize, but all right. I think. Okay, wait. I wanted to clear up this chin a little bit more. Cleaned up that chin a little bit. Okay, I think we can go back in and do the eyes. So this is an actual fluorescent red. You can note it though that it's not opaque. So you gotta. I've been trying not to like go too heavy on this. And ideally, when you're using a non-opaque paint or translucent paint, and you're trying to paint over something, you want to like use a lot of thin layers to build it up, as opposed to just like globbing it on. That's what you generally want to do, but I'll probably just glob it on. So anyway. A lot of back and forth, trying to get this eye to look appropriately creepy. That'll do. That'll do. All right. Time to move on. Everybody ready for the ugly phase of things? The good old super duper ugly phase. Pretty happy with this. So that painting too once looked very similar to this. Okay. And you might be like, wow, that looks very bad. And the answer is sure. But that's where we usually start out from. So now, get to bring back the big brushes to paint this. And so I'm trying to think whether or not I want to push. I kind of wanted all three of them. So the other one I used this like Titan Pale Green for, not this one, not either of these. There's a third one that's kind of drying in the hallway. I use this Titan Pale Green as a skin color because it sort of works if you're going with like a, oh man, drop my brush to paint. If you're going with like a kind of bog witch style, which I was. Okay, wait up. Slight paint emergency. I just need to go get paper towels. This is very unprofessional, but I will be right back. Ta-da! Ta-da! All right. Okay. Paper towels have been acquired. We're good. All right. So, I don't know, do I? Maybe I'll cut the difference and I will mix a little tiny bit of brown into this green. And we'll get sort of a rich brown green. I don't know, that's... Get like a pea soup cream color, I don't know. Anyway. So, I don't know if you saw right there, but I like accidentally painted over the eyebrow. And the reason I did that is because I left a huge glob right there. And because the eyebrow is something that like continues on, I can kind of, I know where it's going to go, if that makes sense at this point. And I would rather have a smoother canvas than like sacrifice that just to keep the eyebrow, if that makes sense. So this probably, I don't know, like I think the exposure looks pretty bright white, but I don't know. Hopefully you can see the kind of the gray greenish vibe. Oh, this is another thing. If you're using long-handed brushes, ideally, if you're like painting away from something, you kind of want to hold the brush like you would like this, not like this, because one, these are a lot heavier than like a pencil. Two, this allows you to like make more turns with your shoulder. You get more range of motion. So it's like it's definitely something that takes practice painting that way, but like I don't know. You do it enough, it's actually quite easy. I think it's funny that like how you hold your paintbrush is definitely one of those things that like I think as a kid you don't like, you know, when if you're in art school at a young age. I was in art school from like 20, I was what, like 22 to like 24, 25. And it was one of those things where you're like, it doesn't matter, I'll hold it like this, you know, kind of vibe. But like, now that I'm in my 40s, it's like, I'm glad I learned, because doing this all day is like, yeah, your body fails you. Body fails you, and that's called aging. This one is gonna be, yo, what up? I was trying to like arg a blog. What's up, Christian? How are you doing, buddy? How's the BK treating you? I was also just saying that like I don't actually have, well, like the reference I have is sort of like, I think the hair is gonna come all the way down here. So I'm switching up the lighting pattern a little bit for this one, so like there's gonna be a lot of things that I have to sort of like make up just from studying human anatomy and stuff like that. So, but this is eventually, with a few more hours, will get to be something like that. But all right, what color top does she have? I think we have black, we have like this violet blue. I think I kind of want to drop some. There's only so much I can do without throwing in some good old-fashioned turquoise, which I love. Same old, same old. No, I don't know, man. I can't. Can't make it out, unfortunately, for the close of Full Circle Bar, Austin. Are you going out? So I think for this top, I'm gonna mix like this kind of like blue, like it all needs to be dark, so I'm using a bunch of black, but I'm gonna do kind of like a, trying to get like a bluish turquoise black. I don't know, just like a dark teal maybe is the best way to put it. I wish I was going to Austin. Although to be honest, I'm a little worried about just flying in general. I mean, beyond like not having a really good thing with like planes crashing and stuff, but like I don't know, man. The amount of shit I talk about Trump, like I know I'm probably on a list someplace. And I have tattoos. Well, I don't have that many visible tattoos while I'm wearing a shirt, but like I don't know. The fact I have a Medusa face on my arm, you know, I'm sure that's linked to some sort of drug criminal activity and fucking be thrown in El Salvador in prison before I get back, but it's cool. I really wish I could be there. That sounds awesome. And happy birthday ahead of time. Now might be a good time to at least figure out the folds of this like kind of sling top, but the main thing is I need to paint the sides and bottom of this piece. Sorry. Try to keep it where you can see it. Yeah. Man, the last Beeb ever, that's super depressing. I think it sucks being out here in LA, because, like, without a league, I feel like I honestly, I was like, oh, I wonder if people are gonna go to Austin, and then I like didn't really think about it at all. And if you didn't come on the live and like be like, hey, are you going? I'm like, oh, people are going? Like, that's so cool. Like, I wish. Sad Rick not getting to go to. Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, I really don't want to write off the coattails of the last Beeb in terms of when I tell people I'm a semi-pro skee ball roller, you know? Although I guess like, oh no, it's all good, man. I honestly like, I think it's closing down on what, the 13th or 12th? What day is it closing down on? Because if anything, like this show, I would probably, if I was flying anywhere, I'd be going up to San Francisco for the gallery show that these are going to go into. But this is not nearly dark enough. But, I mean, 16th is the last day. Damn. Dude, that's gonna be crazy, though. I feel like people are gonna, like, just, like, rip stuff out of the bar. Like, yeah, to your point, being real about the fact that we may likely never have another Beeb again. Damn. It's painful but true. Oh, I just realized. Oh, open tournaments. 14 is Austin Legends. 15th birthday. 16 slides out. Yeah, like definitely rip off something out of the wall. Sorry, everyone. I realize I'm like doing all this painting, but you can't actually see like what I was doing because I was working down at the bottom beneath the camera, and that's terrible. Sorry, everybody. Anyway. I'm sure this is like the least interesting thing ever is like, oh, Rick needs to paint the background of the skate deck black. Sorry. This is just what happens. Like, I always wonder, I think about this a lot, is that like the expectation of what live painting looks like because of either art battles, which is one thing, which I don't really mind, but like more so like time-lapse videos. It's like everyone cuts out the boring stuff, like painting a flat color in the background. But sometimes, like, that's what has to happen, you know? Christian, are you at least getting music, by the way, on Instagram? Bob Ross, the real OG. Yeah, Bob Ross. Yeah, that's fun. I ain't gonna lie. Bob Ross doing his jam is always fun to watch. Oh yeah, it's like cool. is... Oh, I don't have my little widget on, sorry. Things might look weird for a second. Oh wait, no, that's gonna send things really weird. Okay, yeah, things... Give me one sec. One quick sec. Copy. There it is. Just put it over here. I don't have my chat on. Do I have my chat box? Oh, okay. I have chat box on. I don't know if you can see it. Anyway, yeah. Alex and Tokyo Rose, Power Glove rivals. So, I don't know if you can actually see. Can you see that on Instagram? You can't even see that on Instagram. Damn it. Well. This is the music. And the hair is going to be dark, so I'm just going to kind of like fill it in real quick. And the reason I'm like just trying to fill in the hair is so I get the values right. So I can kind of like look at the composition and figure that out. Oh, cool. Text shows up. Excellent. No, I'm not paying these bands their 3 cents per play or whatever. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. But you gotta help out independent artists. Anyone else from Brooklyn going to Austin? Surf? It's also now to figure out if I want her mouth open, showing monster teeth, or if I want her mouth closed, not showing monster teeth. I think her lips are... The area I have for her lips is way too big, so I have to... Oh, yeah. Is there? Sorry. Are there other people from Brooklyn going to Austin? Like besides you? Like, are you going with the whole contingent? Oh, cool. Yeah, like I feel like we should have, like, damn. I feel like this is such a lost opportunity of of like we should have. Damn. I wish I would have known and or thought about it. I don't know. I feel like this year there's just so much crazy shit going on that like I forgive myself when like I'm like, oh, I should have thought of this like months ago, But oh, no Austin trip for me, sadly. Okay, we're slowly getting there. Three days of open tournaments, man. I think I might have. Yeah. I'm trying to make this work somehow, and I'm like, I'm not going to Austin. But I really wish I could. I really wish I could, which is the unfortunate thing. I think the skin color is still too light. I need to like. I'll push the shadows first, and then I'll. And then we'll figure out the flesh tone. Oh, right on. Yeah. Oh, your first bead was the full circle FCB ATX? That's crazy to me. I feel like I always saw you as like a very much veteran roller, and I think like were you ever at the Scoot? That's way too dark, but that's fine. It's fine. That's crazy. I like that this has turned into talking about skee ball while painting for me. I'm sorry, everyone else who was like, I don't care. I'm like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. Skee ball was a major part of my life, everybody. So, everyone on Twitch who is not on Instagram, yeah, like me and a bunch of other people actually. I don't want to seem like it's just me and Christian, but yeah, it was a major part of our lives playing competitive skee ball. We flew from across the country to compete in competitive skee ball, and it was amazing. It was an amazing time to be alive. I mean, you can come on Twitch if you want. Yeah, one of the best times of my life. Same here. Same here. That was... You know, I think what it is like you find a bunch of people who like love the same esoteric thing as much as like you do, and it's like it's so hard to find that, you know? Like it was everyone who's ever loved skee ball more than any other game at the carnival. Uh yeah, how do I oops. See random spam dude. Yeah, that deep level of common interest was very special and different and think hard. You know, this is kind of looking like anyone watch White Lotus? I feel this is giving me a little bit of White Lotus. Sorry, season 1 and 2. Yo, Serp, cool. Sweet. Welcome to Twitch, my friend. Do you still stream at all? think I love the proportions. They're kind of giving me oh, just right on for the remote skee ball pandemic for everyone that had a lane in their house. See, this is how serious we got, people. I unfortunately only had a lane in my house temporarily because I was housing it for someone. But many of us have our own lanes. Alas. Alas, alas, alas. Yeah. But that was cool. Being able to play remotely with y'all, that was fun. I know we only did it a few times with like Willie and Joe and stuff, but the best times of the pandemic. Ooh, I like this. Maybe I'm gonna. I like this blue green, or like this blue gray skin tone. That's my new jam, everyone. Each person will have a different kind of main. I'm using this like purple as a kind of unifying color between the three pieces, but I like the idea of each portrait having a different base kind of skin color. None of them. Ooh. Small light and darkness. Yes. Thank you. Why are my notifications not popping up? Why are the notifications not popping up? Oh, because I didn't put them in this one. Oh, thanks for the follow. Thanks, Holmes. It's okay. You don't have to make excuses. That everyone is known as a guilt follow. No, I'm just kidding. No, thank you. I appreciate it, dude. Yeah. The internet is definitely cray. There is a lot of stuff going on, and it is very difficult to keep up with friends. And to be fair, like, I'm also not really on Facebook anymore. So I literally just came on Facebook today for the first time in like a few weeks to be like, hey, my game's ending in 24 hours. Now's your chance to back. And then I was like, sorry. I'm just gonna shill to all my poor friends and family who are still there. And then I'm gonna bounce. Gonna be like, here you go. Bye. Yeah. You know, I think it's like when social media stops being like social, you know what I mean? Like it's so like based off of based just on like you see like ads and just like people being upset. All right. I feel like we're getting there. We're getting there. All memes ad ship. And then an ad roll. Amazing. Although I appreciate you hanging out for the ad. Sticking through the ad, everyone. I think it's crazy to think that, like, I mean, like, I don't make a lot of money from Twitch, but, like, thanks to people subbing and stuff, it's like, does help keep the lights on. Once here, wait, let me just do this. Don't look at my messy studio. Just kidding. It's fine. Whatever. But now you can at least see what I'm fucking painting. I'm just like, I realized I was like, oh, like, no one can see what I'm doing down here. Sorry. Yeah, it's big tech's definitely dismantling things at a speed. But yes, thank you. And I think honestly, like, to be very upfront, I think I made like $50 over the last like 5 months or something. So doing what I can to try to monetize the passion, but I like that she's really got a vampire thing going. A good vampire look. But I am going to I'm gonna get rid of the eyes right now. Not get rid of them, but like, because I know I'm not keeping them that red color. Looks a little more ghost-like right now. Oh, those eyes are very much off. No, I don't know. The perspective of this face from the reference is like kind of off, so I gotta. No, sorry, it's not off. It's just not straight on, is what I meant. It's like canted. Not that it's like her face is weird, but it's like, but still, that eye is way higher. That eye needs to be higher. I even double checked that when I like was doing it. Anyway, do I have to pay taxes on it? Yes. Well, I don't know. Probably, maybe not if I don't make that much, but it's like 1099able for sure. I mean, I don't have to, but yeah. Well, I mean, it all depends too, right? Like on, I don't know. Because if you make what? I mean, I don't know what the latest tax law is. Who fucking knows? But like, previously, if you made less than like $600, you don't have to like file the 1099. over a year from one like entity. Right now, no one has to do anything. Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, I feel like not, you know, I'm not advocating breaking the law, but I would imagine that if there was a year someone might decide not to pay their taxes, given the level of work and the staffing levels of the IRS, this year would probably be a year in which a individual who decided not to pay their taxes would decide not to pay their taxes. Again, not advocating that people don't pay their taxes out of protest for a government that's failing them and trying to privatize everything. But if you were going to not file your taxes out of protest, this year might be the year to do it. Again, not saying you should, just saying if that individual decided to break the law and not pay taxes, this year would be the year to do it. Doesn't this look better? This looks way better than where it was. It still has a long way to go, but it looks way better than where it was. Okay. Um, okay. Just one piece at a time. It always like I'm always at when I get to this stage where like things are roughly blocked in, it's always like, what do I want to do now? What part should I focus on? Who knows? Who knows? Not me. But it's like you gotta pick something and go. I guess it's just rendering shadows at this point, or like starting to smooth out shadows. Yeah. Oh, these, man. I don't know if you were here early, sir, for me to like rant about the tariffs. which is, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so one, yeah, we definitely live in the dumbest timeline. Or, like a pretty dumb timeline. Because I think it's like, imagine we at least have the internet now, which I guess is probably a net positive thing, but I don't know, man. Like, well, I think what it is that there's a period of time that felt like not the dumbest timeline, and now it's like regressed back into the dumbest timeline. It's like a steady stream of like improvement. Like it's still really like this is like good. We're like bad, and like we're like slowly working it up, and then it like took a nosedive again. You know what I mean? Like, but so I'm finally making a tabletop card game, and then I was like, the campaign literally ends tomorrow. Super excited. I'm like, oh, I'm finally making a board game. This is super fun. This is awesome. And then now it's like, by the way, your game is gonna cost after I've already like set my goals and budget. By the way, my game is now going to cost 50% more. Thank you. And the crazy thing is, I even budgeted for like a 30% tariff. So, I mean, whatever. The game's still being made. Thankfully, we're enough over the goal that like I have some buffer room, but like, just like serious. No, the cost to bring it into the country. Yeah, yeah. I already know that the tariffs are going to cost me like. Basically, I have a quote from the game producing company, the people who are gonna print my game and package it, and it's basically gonna be 50% more than what it used to be. Yeah, it does suck. Sucks quite a bit. So I'm not super happy about that, to be honest, but what I mean, I need to get my game, so yeah, thanks. It is very cool that the game is happening. I'm pretty excited about that. And I have like a pledge tier that people can back to have me illustrate their face into the game as a cultist. So like, I'll show you. Give me a sec. So like, this is like a cultist card, and then so then people can like put like they'll send me a photo and I'll put them in there and then they get to name it. Or like I have a bunch of people who were like, I'm not interested in having myself in the game. I'd rather have my pet in the game. And I'm like, I'll turn your pet into like a human cat or a human pet hybrid and throw that into the game. Hell yeah. So that'll be fun. So there's there's a lot of good stuff. Just it's also some bummer stuff too. So I'm just slowly building up the forum, adding different, like I gotta, hope that paint's dry. You need new paint. I'm gonna add the sclera to the inner corners of the eye. Just a little bit of color right now. What needs to be done? Trying to figure out if I want to give this woman lipstick or not. I feel like not. I don't feel like witches are gonna be like putting on. I mean, they're contemporary witches, so maybe they are putting on makeup. But I feel like makeup is a very. I don't necessarily want to say tool of the patriarchy, but kind of. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think there's a lot of revolutionary ways that you can use makeup too, but like, I think traditionally we think of it as a tool of the patriarchy. So even though that like it's kind of like a red, I'm gonna probably glaze it with a purple, just to kind of keep it in the same like color palette. And then I'll probably go over it with kind of like some of this bluish color. It's just that like blue will definitely read as makeup. Unless I like mute it perfectly, which maybe I'll try to do. We'll see. Can I make this the perfect shade of lip color for this specific painting? Because that's the other thing, is that like color theory, it's all about like relationships to one another. So like what is right, quote unquote, the right lip color for one painting is obviously not for the other, for others. too much. I'm not unhappy with how that turned out. And thus we continue on. Try to render the eyeballs a little bit now. So there's usually going to be like a shadow cast on the eyeball from the top eyelid. So that's sort of what I'm focusing on right now. I need a little bit more black paint. Can you imagine me squeezing this black paint out onto this gray sheet of wax paper, basically, that I use as a palette? I hope you can. Sorry. I don't know what. I mean, I do hope you can. And that's why I told you I was doing it. But anyway. So you generally want to be sparing on portraits. Like doing creepy stuff, it's a little bit different. But like if you're generally painting portraits, you actually really don't want to use black on anything besides like the nostrils and the hair, unless they're wearing makeup, like eyeliner specifically. But or maybe like the inside of the mouth if their mouth is open. But when you're doing like undead, zombie, creepy stuff like I'm doing, like, or witches, you can kind of break that rule a little bit because you likely have so much black on the canvas anyway, or on the surface. But black tends to deaden things, and if you're doing like, if I was doing like kind of traditional portraiture, I'd probably try to avoid it as much as possible. looks slightly, yeah. It looks different when it's more straight on, I think. But that's where we're at. I kind of like how the holes for the trucks and stuff kind of make it look like she has like vampire holes bitten into her neck or something, like punctured wounds. Trying to decide what. That definitely kind of gives it a weird, slightly weird vibe. I think I want to subtly push her towards, like, vampire-like, you know? Right on, buddy. Thanks for coming and hanging out, man. Get some rest. It's getting late over there. Good hanging out. Good to see you again. Yeah, I wish I was going to Austin too, man. Have a happy birthday out over there. And let everyone know I say hi. Send my regards. Steal a piece of the wall for me or something. I don't know. Get a handful of dirt from the from the backyard or something. No, don't do that. Unless you really want to. I don't know. But yeah, man. Thanks for hanging out. And get some rest. Have a happy birthday if I don't see you, and safe travels. I think we'll keep. I kind of want to do her eyes now because I feel like the eyes are usually what I'm the most unconfident about, and so I want to like make sure that I get a first pass, so if I need to redo them, I have time to let the paint dry and I can just like go over it again. Kind of like the idea of like these smaller eyes. I think are more scary than having like normal sized irises. Something about keeping them tiny keeps it. I mean, it's also the red. I think keeps it kind of creepy, but. And I gotta think about like what color hair I want her to have. I'm kind of into this like brownish black, maybe. Let me work on that a little bit. I think I'm gonna yeah. I mean, I don't know. Although, like, I really like how there's like this blue and purple and orange. Like, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's a really nice color. But the rest of them, I've just done black hair. And I'm wondering, since it's a triptych, ideally, I think I might need to just keep that. It's kind of a bummer. But, I will... I am going to try to, while I can see the hair on the black background, I'm going to try to do that little outline. Sometimes you make mistakes, like right there. That's fine. This is exciting. It's like starting to come together, you know? I think if you look at how the decks looked, how this one looked like a couple hours ago. Oof. Oof. Rough. This is why I tell most people, like, painting's just rendering. It's just taking time, going back and forth. I mean, part of it is knowing what to do and building up the fine motor control to be able to correct the things you want to correct. It's all very doable and possible. Like, I couldn't really paint before I started art school. Like, I wasn't, you know, terrible, but I wasn't good. And I'm not even, like, exaggerating that. I really was not a very good painter. Because I didn't know how to paint. I was all self-taught. And there's nothing wrong with being self-taught, but it was just... I didn't understand light and color. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that you, like... You learn through practice, and I don't think people need to go to art school, but I think having someone explain to you what what you're doing wrong and how to fix it is like a big deal. Because I would wager that most people, like, like when you're painting, you're like, oh, this looks off, or like, oh, this isn't it doesn't look how I want it to look, or something like that, you know. But that's really all the difference is like between a good artist and a bad artist, or a unskilled artist. It's just that like you like when you're unskilled, you don't know, you see something and you're like, I don't like how that looks, but you also don't know how to fix it. And then a skilled artist is just like, oh, I don't like how it looks, I know why that doesn't look right, or I can figure it out, and then I also know what I have to do technically to change it so it's what I want it to be. And you're right, and you know, sometimes you're like, I don't want to do that because it's a bunch of work and you might have to repaint the whole thing, or you might have to start over, but like, at least you know. Just kind of like getting stuff a little ready for the darkness. I feel like at this point it's just back and forth, back and forth. So what I'm doing too is that like every time, like I found a color that sort of works as a transition between light and shadow. So I was going over the entire composition with that same kind of color to sort of like smooth out the different areas, if that makes sense. more flesh color paint. Which is Titan Pale Green and Ultramarine Blue. I think I put a little bit of purple. Yeah. Mixing it up, mixing it up. Should have used a bigger brush down this. I'm really trying to go directionally here too, so like the like kind of the natural lines, the creases in the throat that are made from like moving your head up and down, those feel a lot more natural. I should say, like, I'm kind of implying that through this kind of scumbling technique. Danger zone again. I wanted a really subtle gradation. That's why I kind of painted and then I lifted a little bit, which is like when you're using really wet paint and then you like use a paper towel to like grab some of it. So I'm trying to soften the edge of this cast shadow really greatly. Mainly because like the shadow needs to be really close when the kind of this dress thing is like it's being hung from this point on her shoulder, and as it like gets farther away from her body, the cast shadow is going to be more diffused, softer edges, a little bit more subtle. You can get something like that. I think that's looking pretty. Soften some of those like neck things I made earlier. I like that I'm spending more time on the neck than I am like the face, but just see what. Alrighty. Cool. Do we have... Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna wrap stuff up, guys. Gotta start taking care of the good old Le Cats. So let's see. I'm gonna send you over to just Double Summon Games. They're another campaign that is running with me for Pocketopia, which is the event on BackerKit in which I made my game for. So anyway, we got this one, and they're actually going to be on opposite sides when they're displayed. And then there's going to be one in the middle. But she's got some time to go, but we're getting close. There's still a little touch-up things that I want to do here and there on this one, but getting pretty close to being done. So anyway, thanks for watching, fam. Anyway, go check out the good old Double Summon Games, everyone. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.